This is Eric Hunter, and I want to talk about the history of the snake in healing and why I have two pendulums that incorporate the snake imagery for healing. So I have the rod of Asclepius and the caduceus. So let's go into this. The snake has always been a symbol of healing and regeneration, and that's because snakes shed their skin. And when they shed their skin, they have a new skin underneath. So it's as if they've healed themselves. They've healed all the old trauma, all the wounds, and they're regenerated and they come out as being new. The other thing is that snakes are, they're very impressive, powerful creatures. And so a wide range of cultures respected them and felt that they were very powerful, and they just saw them as being a powerful force in nature. So let's talk about the two different versions of this. So the first one here that I'm going to talk about is this one here, my new pendulum, the caduceus. And this is known as the wand of Hermes, or the staff, the staff of Hermes, or the wand of Mercury. And this goes back to ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Now, the wings on the top were taken from the Egyptian iconography. So, there were these winged sun discs that were out there in Egypt, very common symbol. And that's where the Greeks got the idea. And then the Romans really flew with it and they used this. That's where they got this idea for the wings. They got that from ancient Egypt. The snake symbol itself, the two snakes going up around the pole, well, they got this from nature, because when snakes are reproducing, the males will have battles with each other. And when they have these battles, they wrap around each other and it looks like this. And these are competitions that male snakes have. And undoubtedly the ancient Greeks and Romans saw this because, snakes were present in the environment. Now, where am I going with all this? Well, this symbol is often associated with commerce and thievery through the god of Mercury. But there is another very, very potent association with this wand of Mercury, which is relevant to healing. And that is in alchemy too, especially pendulum alchemy. And that's the connection of this symbol to the chemical element of mercury. So mercury is one of the most important chemical elements in ancient alchemy. And it also is one of the most important symbols, chemical elements in ancient medicine. So, for example, they used to treat syphilis using mercury. It was one of the most common medicines. And so throughout history, modern history, in alchemy and in early modern medicine, mercury was used as a form for healing. So there is a non-commerce, non-thief association with this symbol, which is an extremely potent healing symbol. All right, now some other things I really love about this symbol here is that it represents the energy system. So the central core is the Sushumna column that goes up your spine. And then Ida and Pingala are the two energy channels, or the nadis, that come up. And although the Greeks and Romans were not aware of this, they created a perfect representation of the rising of the Kundalini energy using this. So this symbol is a perfect symbol of a highly evolved spiritual being who's had a Kundalini awakening, where the energy has completely gone up all three channels of the spine so that they become enlightened. They can fly, they have wings. Another thing about the wings and the snakes, the wings show transcendence. So the snakes show regeneration and the wings show transcendence. So the snakes are implying that we can regenerate ourselves through healing, and then we can transcend our illnesses or whatever health issues we have. All right, there are a couple other things about this caduceus that I really think are important. One is that the structure of the curling snakes looks like DNA molecules that have the double helix. And this is important because all life is based on biochemistry, and modern medicine is also based on biochemistry. So why do I think this is a great symbol for healing? Because it recognizes that we are both energy, we are both spirit and matter. We have an energy body, we have a chemical body. And many times with healing, we need to address both. You can't just do one in isolation. So this symbol is saying, yes, the physical body is important, biochemistry is important, modern medicine is important, just like energy medicine is important. So this is a really potent symbol showing that, both of those. Another thing about this symbol is that it looks very much like an immunoglobulin molecule, which is part of your body's immune defensive system. And what this implies is that healing is done by the person receiving the healing effort. It is not the healer who does the healing. What the healer does, whether it's modern medicine or energy medicine, what the healer does is we provide a stimulus for healing. And then the body can either react or not react to that stimulus. But it is the body itself that does the healing. It is not the healer, not the doctor, not the energy healer. It is the body, but the doctor or the energy healer provides the stimulus and the circumstances that allow the body to heal itself. So that's what's symbolized with this. And here it is again, the summary of the energy. The other symbol for healing is this here, the rod of Asclepius. And where this comes from is that this ancient Greek god, they always figured him showing him holding a staff that had a serpent wrapped around it. That probably came from Egypt because the goddess Isis was represented by a serpent wrapped around a papyrus reed. And the papyrus represented eternal life, and the serpent going up it represented like life force energy coming from the earth. Also, like the snake is regeneration. So this god, he was the founder of, early medicine in Greek culture, which became dominant in the Middle Ages in Europe, those theories from the Greeks. And what they did is they had temples called Asclepions. And these were healing temples. They were built on hillsides that had a lot of sun. They were very well ventilated with air. They had fresh water, and they also had lots of snakes. They would go out in the countryside, collect harmless, non-venomous snakes. They would put them in this temple. And then there would be priests in the temple with incense and doing various cures, including prayer healing and such, for the people in the Asclepion. And, fresh air, fresh water, sunshine, rest, spiritual energy coming in, all these things would help people to heal. And also they would do various types of medical practices that they had at that time in these Asclepions. So this has been adopted as the international symbol of medicine. This is the symbol of medicine in the United States. I personally prefer this as the symbol of medicine for the United States because, number one, this one does imply that healing is an act of the gods, whereas this one implies that it's due to specialized knowledge. So the alchemist has knowledge of chemicals. Paracelsus, the greatest alchemist and the greatest healer, the founder of modern day medicine with chemicals and chemistry, was back in the Middle Ages. Paracelsus, he was, this represents him, specialized knowledge. Modern day doctors, specialized knowledge. Energy healers, specialized knowledge. Pendulum healers, specialized knowledge. This is more reliance on the god to do the healing for you. Nothing wrong with that per se, but so even though this one is more common as a symbol, this one is also, in my view, the preferred one. Now, a couple other things. I love them both. Both these pendulums have amazing energy. They're very good for doing dowsing work. So you can, use them very easily to do dowsing. They switch direction pretty fast with just subtle movements of your hand, which is what you want from a dowsing pendulum. The other thing about them too is that they have really strong energy, which is really good. So, if you can get over your fear of the snake and see it as the sign of healing, you can get some really nice energy from these pendulums. And they both have extremely different energy qualities. The caduceus mostly has energies of the springtime. These would be oranges, yellows, greens, reds. These energies are really wonderful for healing, regeneration, fertility. So really perfect pendulum for any kind of healing work. This one here is more typical energy. It's the white energy. So this is sort of a jack of all trades pendulum, but it has very, very strong energy. All right, so thanks for listening to this talk. I hope that you found it interesting. And yeah, please don't let your fear of snakes stop you from, getting one of these awesome pendulums, because they are some of the most potent symbols of healing that have ever existed in the history of mankind. All right, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.